Okay. Close, open. Zoom out. Perfect. Smile.
3, 2, 1, open.
Okay. Cut.
Zoom into hers. Zoom in. Go closer. Okay, then
I'll tell you when to open, yeah?
As international students in Angers from the far corners of the globe, something unexpected brought us together during our stay in Angers. A place where diverse faces and stories seem to be able to find a piece of home. That place is the English Library of Angers. There are studies claiming that libraries in different parts of the world are transforming from mere custodians of books to dynamic, multifaceted institutions that cater to various needs of modern society, including playing a social community building role in this fast-paced digital age. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the library's inception, a momentous milestone for the English Library of Angers. Driven by curiosity, we then embarked on a quest to explore our unanswered questions. Our journey became more than just a quest for understanding through the lens of those who shape and are shaped by this library in Angers, but also a tribute for the 30th anniversary of this library.
Come on in. Come on in.
We wondered, what type of library is the English Library of Angers? What societal role does it fulfill in Angers, if any? Amidst an era of digital transformation, how is this sanctuary of knowledge evolved and how is it evolving? We had the pleasure to officially interview about 7 members of the library, from the director to the librarian and various volunteers, each holding a piece of its rich mosaic. Their insights helped us piece together the puzzle that held the key to our unanswered questions. We first explored more about the reality of the library, from what type of library it is, its history, how it functions, and many more.
So the American library system had 5 branch libraries spread throughout France, and the collection was in Nantes at first. There were about 20,000 books, and the library existed in Nantes for a few decades, but they lost funding and they closed in the 80s. And so the entire collection, again 20,000 books, were packed up into boxes, and there was no structure to host them. Angers was a university town, and when the universities heard about those books, they decided to create their own structure here in Angers. Mm-hmm. So with the help of our first chairman, who was Philippe Séjourné, they were able to create a non-profit, the Bibliothèque Américaine d'Angers at the time, and they opened the library here in Angers. So we opened in 1993. They brought the books from Nantes. So our library is unique because we have the second largest collection of books in English language in all of France. Our library is a non-profit organization, which is also unique because you have very few non-profit libraries that exist in the community. But we're an important hub in the community for English speakers and for French people that want to improve their English and want to have connection with English-speaking countries.
We then wondered why these people are part of the library, what brings them back again, and how did they discover it?
Well, you have to be a member.
Okay. So I want to be a member.
Oh, you want to be a member? So could you please fill this form?
Yes, of course.
Then there are different rates according to your status. Are you a student?
I'm a university student, yes.
Okay, so well, it's free for students because we have partnerships with universities, so it's free for students. So you can borrow 6 books and 3 DVDs and other stuff.
Okay, I'll take one too.
And then,
Yes, okay.
and then you, depending.
I think a friend told me about this from my master's, so that's how I discovered it. It was, June 2022.
Not too long after coming here, so if you look.
Because I love
First because I love reading and I love books, and then now there is I've made such a nice, community and people and so many different projects. So I started, to come because I wanted to take books.
My experience with books has been evolving with my legal blindness and my handicap. And you know what? The library has always been by my side. I have to read kind of like large, very large print books. Well, every time there is a large print book that has been donated or that is in the collection, either she gives it to me if it's a donation, or she advises me to check it out if it's in the collection. And well, I have to adapt and to adjust to my legal blindness and to the way it evolves and to my handicap. And of course, it doesn't get better. It's quite the contrary. So the library has always been, well-meaning and sharing and caring, for that matter too.
It seems like what the library is offering is beyond books. So we then explored with them what activities are offered and how language plays a role within the library and how it's like being in an English library in a French environment.
Books, there are people also, they can learn you something else than the book can teach you.
So important, like so significant to have places like this to be able to meet more people and just experience. Because for me it's not only languages, it's like you get to meet people from different ages to exchange on life. There's there's clubs, like you can go hiking. There's so many activities that you get to do, and again, you wouldn't think about this if you just cross the road and you see library. You're like, I don't really read that much. So you feel like you don't really fit in, but you actually do.
That's what the French society is. Until you get to know people sort of better, sort of everything is conducted in a rather formal manner, whereas coming from Ireland, which is socially, sort of people interact less formally.
Would it work if it was just an empty library, or?
It wouldn't be the library, that would be an English language library, but that would be void of its substance and its heart and soul.
For somebody that comes out from the street and then they know a little bit of English, but they're very nervous of speaking.
Yeah. If you really want to learn the language, to discover, because if you only know one language, you only know one page of the book.
We then explored one of the studies stating how libraries are taking on new roles, and one of them being societal, community building, as well as bridging the gaps between the generations.
You make new friends, you can meet people maybe that are older than us, but you can meet them and they have everything to tell you, so come here and see what's happening.
You can have a student, but you can have a mom with her child.
Yes.
You can have a grandma, or you can have people who work and say, I'm going to take a break and just have a coffee at the library. So that's a diversity, and that's what I like from here.
I think the older teach the younger, and the younger teach the older.
We then wondered how this library has changed and how it's changing, taking into consideration the evolution of technology and the digitalization of many things, including books. Whether there is any future for the library or libraries in general.
Yeah, I could take a random one, but there is specifically Irish literature. Yes, I think that illustrates the point I was making about a strong representation of Irish. So what have we got here? This is a reference book. Oh, I see. Yeah. Computers. But the thing is, in France, I think we have a very large population in France of book readers. you know, and it's still part of the culture, along with music and food, of course, you know. So it's, I think this, you know, while these are very convenient, these devices, I think for people that are old school like myself, you know, it's hard to beat the tactile difference of actually holding and reading a book, you know, sort of, and
just touch the books. Nothing can replace a book, like touching a book, turning the page.
That's amazing to hear. So if I understand correctly, like even with the difficulties of reading for you,
Yes.
you still like not prefer, but it's still important to you to have that real experience of reading an actual physical book. And
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
How crazy would I sound if I said the books were dead? You know? I can't say that. It's not happening.
Do you think books are dead?
No, I don't think the books are dead, and they never will, because I think the libraries have to move on with the flow of technology and so on. You can't replace a book. The smell, the touch.
As Miguel once said, the library of the future, whether the physical space or its digital resources, can be the place where you put things together, make something new, meet new people, and share what you and others bring to the table. It's peer-to-peer, hands-on, community-based, and creation-focused. Based on the research, it is thus evident, or it seems evident, that libraries in the 21st century and beyond are going to be less about just the books and more about the services that libraries provide to their communities. It's beyond the books. The English Library of Angers is a perfect representation of this. We ended our interviews by asking what is one word that comes to mind. What is their personal connection to the library?
The little library with a big attitude, because it makes me really happy.
I would say welcome. Libraries are one of the few places nowadays that you can just come in.
Sociability. And, yes, it's a nice place to meet people. That's what we need in life.
Exactly.
Network. For me, the library is a learning place. I love it.
When I leave the library because of my personal life, I decided to move. I was like if I was leaving my family. So for me, this place is really, and that's why I'm here, because it's really important to me. And it's always gonna have a good place in my heart.
Culture. It's a place of culture.
That's a tough one. Only one word? I could think of dozens. But one that definitely comes to mind is exchange. It's an exchange, cultural and social.
To me, it's the cultural centre of Angers.
Sharing.
I was hoping it wouldn't be emotional. Home.
In the spirit of the 30th anniversary, this is what some of the staff had to say.
From the bottom of our hearts, I'd just like to thank
Volunteers that are here and all the members that come.
past, present, and future, former staff members and current, our wonderful partners, and our board, our conseil d'administration.
Every day I make my day better and brighter, and tell your friends.
Hopefully, you know, sort of like this will continue for another 30 years at least.
Doors open. 3, 2, 1, open. Smile. Okay, cut.
As international students in Angers from
Texas.
China.
Hungary.
Louisiana. Hungary. Namibia. Congo. Zambia.
we have come together united by a shared experience at the English Library of Angers. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for its welcoming doors, its wealth of knowledge and its community spirit, with all the volunteers and anyone that took part in this project and research.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday!
Perfect.
That's a good.